All right, what's up, fellow Shadow Priests? We are back on the beta, the War Within. Shadow Priest is a work in progress. You know, they're making changes. We appreciate that. After my last video, where we all basically cried and said that we never want to play again, and it's just time to essentially hang the cleats up. Just like that, we're back. They gave us a little change, which I thought was a big quality of life change, and I remember complaining about it in my other video where I was on Mugambala and I had Mind Flay and Sanity procs, but I just couldn't use them, and your Halo is ticking, but you're not being able to use those procs, so it just feels really troll to generate like 4 or 5 Mind Flay and Sanity procs, but then you can't actually use them because they're going to expire in 15 seconds, or you can only have 2 at a time. So now, thanks to the Discord, we're up to date on all the latest tech. If you aren't in the Discord, check the description, join it. We're always linking talents and changes and just theory crafting. So shout out to LMR, who's been very helpful in the beta. Surge of Insanity now stacks up to 4 times and lasts 30 seconds. So it's actually a huge quality of life change, because you could theoretically get all of your procs and then wait till you can actually cast and then let them rip, or get a precog and let them rip. It does a lot of damage. Mind Flay Insanity does a lot of damage, and I can show you the damage breakdowns later. But we're also looking at talents and breakdowns, and it seems like it does more damage than Void Torrent, which is crazy because it's like 1/3 of the cast. I mean, it just rips like the same amount of damage in a shorter amount of time. So if you're playing Archon, I feel like you don't really need Void Torrent. So here I am changing my talents, trying to mess around. Someone was also telling me that Flay generates Apparition, so I was gonna experiment with taking the apps as a talent too, and just completely removing Void Torrent as well. So let's actually just showing my talents, because early on I was playing with Void Torrent, and we'll just go ahead and check out some gameplay. And then instead of me just raging as I'm playing, I'm gonna try my best to calmly commentate what I think's going on and what's fun and what's not fun. So starting off the game, Warrior Lock Druid. That's a throwback comp, WLD. Missed the opening Shadow Crash, rough start. I try to line the lock and wean the war. Got my feathers up. I could have faked this, but I didn't. So starting off the game, I missed my Shadow Crash, I'm kicked. I stun the warrior so I can get cast off here. Double dot. Got my Halo out. Trying to get the Void roped off. He kicks my first Mind Flay Insanity, but don't worry, now that my Halo is going off, and I Void Form, so it's going to boost my damage, I'm going to be able to rip so many Mind Flays here. So there's 1, 2, and then here's 3. Even if I got kicked on that first one, I'm still able to get 3 really good Mind Flays off. And you can tell they did start to rot for like a moment. There was a moment there where like I actually felt like, wow, they're kind of in trouble. I don't know if that was necessarily me, because my dragon's also doing more damage than me. And my DH is doing good damage, but yeah, at this point we're like rotting both of them. I got really good pressure with the Mind Flays. Obviously I'm not playing with interrupt bar, so if I knew when I could free cast, that would be a little bit more helpful. But this Mind Flay spec I could see definitely being very strong in shadow play, like when there's matchups where you pretty much need to tunnel a warlock or they're gonna do a bajillion damage. I think that we're probably going to be able to play that comp again, which is boring because it's not my favorite comp. It's not like a setup comp. It's more of just like PvE and randomly just win on mana. But overall, I'm enjoying it. You know, I've been already doing more damage than my partner for the first time. Feels pretty good. It does feel like you kind of have a big gap between, okay, Halo's on cooldown, what am I going to do? So here's my Void Torrent there that just feels really weird to press, and then I press the Flay, does a lot more. Fiend, you can see my Mind Flays are stacking up, love that. Missed my Fear in the Druid. I've got 3 Flays ready to go. Also playing Mental Decay to refresh your dots and increase your Mind Flay damage feels really good, because you can see here like my dots are about to fall, but I'm just reflaying them over and over again. Still want to complain that Mind Blast just absolutely tickles people for like 100k, like 150, 200k is just an absurd number in an expansion where people have 8 million HP. So you can see that Mind Blast for 180k, his health barely moves. Now Mind Flay itself doesn't do a lot of damage, but when you have no Mind Blast charges, you pretty much want to Flay just for insanity. Fiend, distract them, big Mind Flay suck. Silence the Druid, win the game. So look at my breakdown here. I'll just pause it. Mind Flay is my #1 damage. Like, that's awesome. It's ticking for 504k. I don't know how many times Mind Flay ticks in a given Flay, but I feel like it's probably like at least 4, right? 3 or 4 maybe. So you could be doing up to like 1 million damage per, or more than 1 million damage per Flay. Feels really solid. I cast it 11 times for 10.6, so almost 1 million damage per Mind Flay. And then obviously some of those are not empowered. When you pop Halo and you use Void Form, it's going to boost your not single target damage. It's going to boost your overall spell damage. Now you could also play Dark Ascension, which I saw someone doing. Dark Ascension does not boost your periodic damage, and Mind Flay is technically a periodic damage spell, but it does, however, give you that extra 12% damage buff in the Archon tree, so technically you're getting a boost there, but I don't think the single target damage on Mind Blast or like Shadow Fiend is enough to warrant Dark Ascension being good in this spec. I think Void Bolt's really solid, especially if you're getting trained. I didn't really use many Void Bolts this game, but in other games I feel like it gives me more purpose and meaning. So if you look at my Void Torrent breakdown as well, I think I only casted 1 or 2. Just seems like Mind Flay is the better global if you have stacks. Maybe there's a world where you just need to generate Insanity and you want to get Mind Trauma stacks or whatever. And yeah, I think you'll just want to play no Void Torrent. I swear, could be good. Use the talents elsewhere. Our idols also feel like depressingly low. It feels like the idols don't do a lot of damage. There I just torrent to get a kick out of the way and start getting those Dark Advantage stacks. Pop PI. Casting my Halo. I'm locked. I need to learn to just fake counterspell against people because I feel like I'm a good player and I could do that. Fear the DH off me. And here comes. They have no kicks, so this should just be time to rip. I'm going to hit the Druid a bit too. He is skin up though. He pulls me to the lock. I get the Flay. Dot everybody up. Psychic Link doing work. DP also continuing to deal a lot of damage is awesome. Now I didn't try any Void Weaver in this video. I just feel like Flay synergizes better with Archon. You're going to do a lot more damage. You'll have more Mind Flays in general. Yeah, Void Weaver could be good, but I just feel like if you're riding the Flay hype train, then you want to stick with Archon just because you'll get more of them more often. And again, we're saying it does more damage than Void Torrent, so when you revolve an entire spec around a spell that isn't as good as like your almost, I don't want to say rotational spell, but yeah, I guess it's not really filler, but it is like part of your key rotation. This game we did good damage. Not Aflock damage, but still enough to contribute. Here we go. This is gonna be the game without Void Torrent, I believe. I feel like Shadow Crash is absolutely essential. Oh, I didn't change my spec. I'm thinking about it next game, my bad. So now we're playing Shadow Play. I feel like this comp should be pretty sick. Get my Torrent, taking some damage down. I'm tickling him. Without Ire, Torrent really does nothing. It's really tough. I don't want to get Bash cloned. I'll get dots on the Druid here. I'll stun him. Feared him too. What? How did I not fear him? I might not be hit capped. Who knows? Is there hit cap anymore? I don't even know. This is awesome though. So now I'm free casting. Watch me let it rip here. Big Flay. Big Torrent. And I guess while you're torrenting, you're pulling your Flays. That's maybe one advantage. I dotted the Trance there. No, I got the Druid too. Sick. Fade this clone. Oh, it's on him. I could have MD'd this. Grip the lock. You can see, look at my damage though. For not getting targeted, like this is, your damage should look like this, right? If you're just left to your own devices, you should be pumping. Now, unfortunately, it looks like they're kind of living through it very easily. And I'm also sometimes in the awkward situation where you don't have a DP, but you don't have any spells to press besides a regular Flay, and it just feels like Torrent might be better than that, so I just went for the Torrent. Gonna set up on this druid again. Try to rot him down. I'm trying to click my health stone out of my bags, but I can't use it because I'm stunned. I just used it at 100% HP. That's not good. I usually have a bind on retail, but my beta setup's a little scuffed here. Here comes the boom. Oh, another thing I was thinking about was that Driven to Madness would synergize very well with Halo, because you would actually have like a minute Void Form, and like we said, Void Form actually boosts your spell damage, so it is pretty good to go into Void Form during your Halo. Yeah, I'm just doing a lot of pumps here. Granted, the lock is almost about to catch up to me and he's getting trained, but I think we're doing alright. Oh, we might actually just lose right here. See, even though we lost, I feel like we could have won if I played better. Alright, let's change the spec though. Let's see what we do. So we're going to take no Torrent. We're going to grab Apparition Talents. I guess having Mastermind feels good because your Flay can crit really big. And Mind Games is useless. Let's also put that out there. Mind Games is absolutely trash. They buffed like the damage and healing reversal to like 600k, but dude, again, 600k when you have 8 million HP just means absolutely nothing. And the spell still hits for like 300k, so just feels bad overall. Against Afflocks, you can cast when they're CC'd because they sack their pet and they can't kick while they're stunned, so I know that I could free cast for a second there. Casting my Flays. I stunned into Shroud because I'm blind and I'm playing without big debuffs. Kicks me. Sleeps me. I promise I'm not this bad on retail. Some people would disagree, but really insane clone mode our healer there. I'm stunned and kicked, so it doesn't make any sense to Trinket. I think I can rip Mind Flays. Nope, kicked. It does suck if you're getting trained with no interrupt bar. I will say it feels bad, but even then, just the fact that you can rip a Mind Flay and it ticks a little bit and it does some damage and then you get kicked and then you come out of the... I mean, it sounds dumb, like you never want to do this, but you come out of your CC or your kick and your Halo is stacking up your Mind Flays, you will have more procs to use, which is, I think, part of the change that I really like. Because in other situations, like this proc that I have right now, at 24 seconds, there's a world where maybe that expires if I get CC'd again or if I get kicked or they're lining. So it just feels like you're actually able to take advantage of those procs. And then also another reason why Flay is fun is because people are, you know, constantly weaving in and out of the pillar, and you can slip a Mind Flay on someone as they're lining and potentially end the game like that. Keeping my dots up. Death Speaker, not entirely sure how much damage it's doing, but I feel like it's good for insanity generation. So that game was without Void Torrent, and I think I honestly liked it. The Druid and the Locker are now emoting each other. But like, look at my apparitions here. So they're only hitting for 218k, but you gotta figure that's on top of our burst rotation. So we're like flaying for 500k ticks, and our dots are ticking, and the healer CC'd, and we have Psyfiend up, and then we're just throwing in some pad dam with the apparitions, and I think it's a solid move. I mean, it did more damage than Shadow Word Pain, right? That has to be good, because I think I have like almost 100% uptime, at least on one target with Pain. Hopefully you clone this game. I feel like cloning is Shadowplay might be bad because you want them to rot, right? Alright, I triple purge off Shroud. I learned from my mistakes. I could probably figure out how to do the opening rotation better in terms of DPS, but for now, I'm gonna pump. Big Flays. This guy's just standing in darkness. Trying to hit the target that's not in darkness. I might swap him, I did. Oh, he's typing. He's typing in the chat. Mind Trauma might be really nice with this Flay build too, now that I think about it. It used to be hard to get stacks with Flay because it was such a long cast time, but because it's so short and it does so much damage, I think we might want to play Mind Trauma. And our haste values are like really low right now. So we get a bunch of fears on this Dargon. Halo's back up. Look, when they're this low and you have a Halo coming up, you know it's time to pump. JK commune, but still getting a just Flay into Flay into Flay into Flay into the D. It's just got global, bro. Let's look at that death log. Here's what I'm talking about. The apparitions don't hit insanely hard, but when you add them to what you're already doing, my Halo hit for 200k, my Flay taken for 382. This is a non-void form Flay, by the way, so like I said, they're gonna do more damage when you're in void form. And then of course we had to global him with the 149k Mind Blast, but yeah, overall pretty satisfied with that apparition build. That feels pretty good. I think we lose this last game, but you know, might as well show it just for content. This is actually my bad. I just died without dispersing, so I mean, there's really not much to see. I'm like poker facing. I really am focused on these mind plays, and I want to get the pumps out. And I end up dying. Let's see. There's my Flay. I get kicked at 40% and die, so that's just my fault. But overall, I won 4 games. I could have won the 5th one. I did less damage than the Athlock, but still noticeably more than the Warrior, noticeably more than DH. Really satisfied with the way that went, for sure. And let's check out some... maybe a duel. We're gonna duel Elmar the Goat, who has like a 90% win rate against me. Oh, I don't have Shadow Fiend, doesn't count. Doesn't count. He beat me there, so that's fine. We'll skip that one. I do smoke him later on though. Here's an arena. Oh, he's gonna 1v1 the Saflock. He's actually playing Dark Ascension and Void Weaver, I think. Could be wrong. Maybe he's playing Archon. Oh, he mind flayed the Observer, Pog. I think Dark Ascension does buff your Mindbender, so technically Dark Ascension and Mindbender synergize pretty well together. He's gonna death the Seduce here. Oh, outplayed. Highlight reel, highlight reel. Fears his fear. Owned. Alright, here comes the real duel. I'm sure he has no cooldowns, but it's fine. Here we go. We're gonna fade the dots, put our dots up, purge the PI, silence maybe. I didn't purge the PI. Try to purge it. Halo. This is actually a good test because he's playing Void Weaver with the collapsing Void and the Entropic Rift, and I'm playing the Flay build with Archon, and let's see who's pumping harder. Right? I think it's me. I'm just gonna get dots on whatever I can while he's dispersed so I can unfurling back to him. Mind Blast for 130k, love to see it. Oh, every time he torrents, man, it's kind of scary. I feel like as Void Weaver, you really need to torrent on cooldown. Regular ass mind play, it looks so old. It's funny, we can't really kill each other unless we have our boosted abilities. There's a Flay. Yeah, that's like the one duel I've ever won against him. Alright, well, I got a couple more clips, but I feel like that's pretty good for now. I feel like we covered a lot, and I think I'll just have to make another video on the Void Weaver, because I think that my intuition is telling me right now that Archon is just going to be better. It should be better overall DPS, going to be better quality of life. Void Weaver... not bringing like a ton to the table, honestly. Not super stoked on it. Maybe if you're like not getting trained and someone's cleaving like your warlock, it'll do a ton of AoE damage with that rift and free casting. But if Mind Flay Insanity is our hardest hitting ability and Archon is giving us more access to that ability, I think that's just got to be the play. Could be wrong. Also was watching, I think WizK was playing Void Weaver and then Void Torting just to get the rift out and then canceling it instantly. I thought that was funny. I mean, if you're going to balance an entire, like, I guess you can call it the hero spec around an ability, maybe make that ability better. I don't know. We still would like to see better work around the PvP talents. I think that Mind Games is still very trash. I would like to see Void Form or Dark Ascension have that instant option, even if that's a PvP talent, whatever. I feel like that'd be worth taking. Mind Blast sucks. What else? Mobility sucks, but you know what? Shadow Priest is viable now, so like you could still play the expansion, and it might not be terrible. So definitely look forward to trying that. Keep pumping. We'll see you on the other end of the YouTube spectrum. Check out the Twitch, twitch.tv/ShopSP, streaming every night, probably around 11 EST. And then also we are playing Cataclysm Arena. We'll play the War Within when it's out and more beta as well. And thank you very much for watching. Join the Discord and peace out.